first thing we're going to look at is the setup. First thing you've got to grab are your event cards. Next deck are your Gene Stealer Blip pile. This will later be split into two different decks to form up the location blip piles. These go at the top. Next you have your starting location. This is a one-player game, so you can barely read that, but it's the void lock for one player, and that tells you how many locations we're going to need. It's 3. We needed 2, a 3, and a 4. So pick my 2 at random. Pick your 3. And of course, you don't know what these are, so you can't select your teams based on them, because obviously some teams are better at certain locations in the game. And 4 will also be your ultimate mission objective. So obviously this is important because, this is going to decide what you have to do at the end of the game. So this sits on top and sits at the top of the pile. Right, next up, you need to grab your Space Marine teams. Now I've chosen the blue team. So you've got Captain Lorenzo, Sergeant Lorenzo, and Brother Dano. I've chosen the purple team, so you've got Brother Zale and Brother Amino. Also got their action card underneath. And I've chosen the grey team, so that has the Librarian, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce, and Brother Scipio. Right, next you need to gather up all the Space Marines in the teams. And this, once shuffled, will make our starting determine the formation. That's the line of Space Marines that will govern the game. So you have to shuffle these very carefully because they're double-sided. You can't shuffle them traditionally. You have to kind of shuffle them out of sight, which is hard one-handed, but try my hardest. We've got the support tokens to the side within easy reach, and those are the terrain cards, which we'll place in a second. So the formation is placed. The first half of the formation, in this case there's 6 Marines, so that's 3 of them, are placed facing the left. So you can see the arrows just about there pointing to the left. And the second half, the last 3, are facing the right. So I don't know what order they're going to come out in. I'm still learning what's a good setup and what's not. But next, these terrain cards will tell us where we need to place terrain. So there was a little door symbol there. So I look through the door, and there's a 1 with an arrow pointing down. So that's 1 down from the top on the left. Next, we're looking for the dark corner. So that's 3 down on the left. So that's next to Brother Amino. Next, you look on the right side of the card. There's 3 up is a vent. So this time it starts from the bottom, and it's designed so that the initial setup with half your Marines facing left, half your Marines facing right, all your Marines will begin facing the terrain. Of course, the Gene Stealers might end up moving behind you or out of your line of fire, but initially you're facing down the terrain. Now you take an event card and at the start of the game, and all this does is tell you the spawns. So that's telling me there's a minus spawn on yellow, which is the door, and there's a minus spawn on orange. Now what I've forgotten to do is to place the blip piles first, which I should have done, and that tells me there are 6 Gene Stealer blips in the left-hand pile, and 6 Gene Stealer blips in the right-hand pile. And this is important because when terrain calls the Gene Stealers to appear, they'll be drawn from the blip pile on the side of their terrain. So in this case, when I'm drawing a 2 minor spawns, 1 on yellow, 1 on orange, that means 1 Gene Stealer on the door on the left, and 1 Gene Stealer on the dark corner on the left. So already the left blip pile is smaller. Now there's other text on the card, like movement and additional rules, but at the start of the game, that's all there is. It's just to start the initial Gene Stealers.